This is the Astros Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Houston Astros, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
There will be absolutely no sugarcoating things on this show tonight. The Houston Astros stink. Another way to put it. They cough up another loss or another win tonight against the Toronto Blue Jays and do it in absolutely gross fashion. There is no way to spin it. There is nothing that you can say positive this, positive that. Positive does not exist in this baseball team. Right now, anybody that wants to put positive spins on this baseball team is fooling themselves. I know that there's people out there, but this team right now is absolutely in a world of hurt based off the way that they're playing, and that happened again tonight against the Toronto Blue Jays. Like I said, they cough one up in absolutely horrible fashion thanks to Bryan Abreu in the ninth inning. We'll get to all the problems that they are having right now throughout the show. Appreciate you guys for stopping by. It's not easy to want to go and listen to somebody talk about your team that you do love, because that's the hardest part of all this, is because even if I'm sitting here having to say all these negative things about them because they're giving us nothing but negative results to talk about and negative play overall, the facts are the facts. We do still all love them, but they are not inspiring any of us to feel good about where they're at. Tonight's episode of this Locked On Astros Postcast, by the way, is brought to you by FanDuel. Football season's around the corner. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your futures bets now. Actually, football is here, thank goodness. All right, what are you talking about more than anything else from this one here tonight?
This is what you'll be talking about.
Now, yes, Astros did have an opportunity in the baseball game to add more, bases loaded, earlier in the ball game. Got nothing out of it. Yes, they only scored 3 runs tonight. Absolutely a problem. But the number one problem is that you have a 3-1 lead going to the ninth. Now, we've talked about this before. We knew that this was going to be the case. The Astros absolutely missed Josh Hader in a bad, bad way. Bryan Abreu is not a closer. I think I've had this conversation before, and look, we're all entitled to our opinions. I got a lot of comments about me hating on Bryan Abreu because he had a bad outing here or something. And look, you want to fool yourself into thinking that Bryan Abreu is a closer, go for it. Somebody in Major League Baseball probably will fool themselves at some point into thinking that he can be a closer and pay him to be a closer and make him a closer. Okay, good for them. I've watched Bryan Abreu for all the years like you guys have. He has an electric arm. He has electric stuff. Here is what a Bryan Abreu is, though. He is a guy that has poor mechanics half the time. He gets behind. He gets his body out in front, his arm way behind. His mechanics get completely out of whack. He has absolutely no control of anything. He walks guys constantly. He allows hits constantly. And that's not what a closer does. That's why this guy can never be the closer. And you're seeing it right here. You can't live in a world where you have traffic constantly and ever expect to consistently get out of it, especially in the biggest moments of baseball games, which is the ninth inning, the highest of leverage. When you have a 3-1 lead, you have to finish it. And if you can't, then guess what? You're never going to be a closer. And the Astros are in the conundrum. Look, this team this season has been so incredibly just dealt with a hand of bad luck when it comes to health. It happened again tonight. We'll talk about it in a minute. Bryan Abreu in a perfect world is not going to be the Astros' ninth inning guy. Occasionally he'll finish a ninth inning when they need him to because Josh Hader's not available. But Josh Hader's arm, like everybody else in this team's arm, has fallen off. And here we are. We're talking about Bryan Abreu having to finish the game off. And look, he is a professional like everybody else. And when you are being paid to finish off a game in the ninth inning, whether that was your original job or not, guess what you have to do? You have to go out there and you have to get the outs in the ninth inning. You can't go out there and do what he did tonight. You are in a division race right now that you have somehow miraculously held on to a lead in the division. How? Still baffles me. At the moment, you are, a game and a half up. Seattle is going to play here as we're doing this show. They should be starting here soon. Rangers are going to win tonight. It looks like they're up 5-3 late over the Brewers, not done. So they're going to gain a game. They're going to be 3 games out. The Mariners can get to a game out. The Mariners are up, as I'm doing the show 3-2. They can get to a game out. Based off the way that this team has performed, they don't deserve to make the postseason. And there's a real chance now, the way they keep going, that they're not going to make it. Like, I've been the optimist here every time we've been doing these shows. Yeah, when they get to October. Like, it's still going to happen. Why? Why is it going to happen? There's nothing that they're doing that indicates they're capable of getting there. They can't hit half the time. They can't pitch anymore. Their bullpen, again, arms fell off across the bullpen that was already leaking, oil left and right for months. And the pitching starting rotation, same story. There's a difference between being harsh and just living in reality. And I'm just living in reality. Even if they get there, this team's not good enough. They're not. They're not good enough. And they're going to have to take a serious look in the mirror this offseason when they're watching everybody play baseball to figure out what they're going to do, how they're going to fix it, or they're going to pivot. We're going to get into that issue when the season officially ends. But I'm telling you right now, September the 9th, as we're sitting here, I expect to be sitting here at the end of the season. Regular season ends. Let me give you the exact date here real quick. I think the regular season ends on the 28th of September. I think right now, when that game happens on the 28th of December, I think the Astros are going to be on the outside looking in. I do. I hope. Look, don't get it twisted at all. I hope that I am wrong. I would rather watch them lose in the wild card round than not watch them play. I'd rather be there. We've been as blessed as it gets with a 10-year window here where they've been out of the postseason once. And that was after, it was like, it wasn't a bad year. They won like 86 games or something. It wasn't great, but it wasn't horrible. But they have killed my confidence. I'm sure they've killed a lot of your confidence as well. And I just don't know how they keep surviving this. And I don't know what they do to fix anything right now. I don't think that there's an answer. There really isn't. Outside of, and this is always a conversation that comes to everybody, is coach this, coach that. Remember who plays the sport. There's 9 guys on the field. It's on them to perform. The manager and the hitting coaches, they can only do so much. Hold the people accountable for their job. And that's the players. And right now, and they know this, what they're putting out, trash. Absolute trash. And I'm sure, as you can tell, I'm not enjoying it at all. And I know that you guys aren't as well. Missed opportunities left and right. Coughing things up. Bad baseball. Heck, I saw the tweet from Brian McTaggart earlier today of MLB.com. Let me just pull that one up for you here real quick. Give you the exact what he sent out about the Astros. I mean, this could be about as bad of a loss as they've had this season. Since remember when they swept the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium weekend of 4th of July? We were on a high note, man. I remember doing this show. We were buzzing. Including the loss now tonight. Since they swept the Dodgers that weekend in the 4th of July, the Astros are now 23-32 since then. You know what that is? That's a losing record. That's a bad baseball team. And that's what we're watching right now as the clock is ticking on this season and teams around them are playing better, not great baseball, playing better baseball than they are. And they've got head-to-head matchups still that are going to dictate this thing. And right now, I have absolutely zero faith that they're going to find a way to win those matchups and put themselves in the postseason. Let's talk about the other injury issue tonight. That's next here to the Locked On Astros Postcast. Before we talk about that unfortunate situation tonight, let's talk about game time. There's nothing better than catching a baseball game, the energy of the crowd, the chances the chance to see your team in person, but actually getting tickets, that's the tough part. Queues, login screens, surprise fees. It takes all the fun out of it. That's why I use Gametime, the app that takes the advantage and gives it back to the fans. Gametime is fast, easy, and backed by the Gametime guarantee. You'll always get 100% authentic tickets delivered on time and at a price, at the best price. Plus, all fees are included, so the price that you see is the price that you pay. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, redeem that code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, download Gametime today. And one more message before we get back to our discussion on the Astros here tonight. Let's talk about your money. Most people can't name all their financial accounts or even what they are worth, whether it's your 401ks, properties, or investments. And when you don't have a full picture, you can end up leaving money on the table. That's why there's Monarch Money. It's an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial goal or life together in one clean, easy-use interface on your laptop or your phone. Monarch is built for people with busy lives. If if you're not into the organizing of your finances, Monarch, well, it's there for you. Monarch does the heavy lifting for you. You can link all of your accounts in minutes, see clear data visuals, get smart categorization of your spending, and finally feel free and in control of your money without ever touching a spreadsheet. Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code LOCKEDONMLB. Absolutely brutal loss for the Astros tonight against the Toronto Blue Jays. They fall and now put themselves in a spot where, hey, you could be looking at a one-game division lead here very soon. On a night where everything went poorly, late, Bryan Abreu coughs it up. The Astros had a 3-1 lead. Yes, overall, they did a very poor job of scoring runs tonight. They did scatter 11 hits across the game tonight, which was nice. But again, you have 11 hits, you only score 3 runs. Guess what? That's not nice. Then there's the other part of this game tonight. Inning and 2/3 in, Luis Garcia had not done anything to hit the alarm bells too hard. His fastball wasn't incredibly fast tonight, but it hasn't been exceptionally fast since he's been back, and he leaves the game with the elbow. I am going to be completely expecting that we hear the news that Luis Garcia is probably going to require another surgery to his elbow at this point. He had so many setbacks in his recovery. He got shut down again this year going through it. I don't know what's going on with this franchise. I don't know if it's a way that they handle workloads and whatnot, or physical therapy, whatever it might be, but they have a real problem. There has to be a serious internal look at how they handle health of players, because, and look, arms are a ticking time bomb. They are unpredictable. I get it. It is not something like you consider yourself, it's the trainer's fault. It's not like that. But I will say, from the standpoint of, they talked about for a while, at least in the James Click era, about their return to play policy, and then James Click was gone, and there was no real talk of did they ever get to that. They got to evaluate. They have to self-evaluate how they handle players, how they handle recovery, how they handle everything, because this amount of arm injuries is absolutely insane. And I hope again, like I said earlier with the other thing, I hope I'm wrong on this. I don't know about you guys, but I'm sitting here expecting we'll hear the words Tommy John again for Luis Garcia. And I hate that for him, because you see it since he's come back. He's a good pitcher. He's a really good pitcher. And he's a guy that they should count on for the long term, like under control for years. He's had moments already. Like, it sucks for him. I feel awful for him. But obviously something is not right there. And it is time to seriously evaluate how you handle player injuries and them recovering. What I do know is that they'll play again tomorrow night. We will be here. The season is winding down. They only have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 17 games left on the season. We'll be here for them. hopefully talking about victories. I don't have a lot of faith right now. I know that you guys don't have a lot of faith right now. All I can say is let's show up, let's find out, and let's just hope. That's about it. Talk to y'all tomorrow night after Astros and Blue Jays game 2. Locked On Astros Postcast.